Here we're going to look at the Extended Report 2023 for SDG 9, Industry, Innovation and Infrastructure. SDG 9 has 8 targets, 3 of which are enabling targets. SDG 9 also has 12 indicators that we're going to review. The first target, Target 9.1, develop quality, reliable, sustainable and resilient infrastructure, including regional and transborder infrastructure to support economic development and human well-being, with a focus on affordable and equitable access for all. The indicator for this is indicator 9.1.1, proportion of the rural population who live within 2 kilometers of an all-season road, and indicator 9.1.2 is passenger and freight volumes by mode of transport. Now for this, this extended report doesn't actually provide any detailed information on this, so we'll move on to the next target, Target 9.2. Target 9.2. Promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization and, by 2030, significantly raise industry share of employment and gross domestic product in line with national circumstances and double its share in least developed countries. Indicator 9.2.1, manufacturing value added as a proportion of GDP and per capita. LDCs are off track to meet the industry-related SDG 9 targets, although there are significant regional disparities. After the collapse of manufacturing in 2020 caused by the COVID-19 pandemic and the subsequent recovery in 2021, global manufacturing production is expected to slow down in 2022. Manufacturing value added is estimated to grow moderately by 3% in 2022, strongly affected by the conflict in Ukraine and the implementation of COVID-19 containment policies in China. Growth of global manufacturing has also dampened due to high inflation and an energy price shock, persistent disruptions in the supply of raw materials and intermediate goods, global economic deceleration, weakened confidence and high uncertainty. The manufacturing outlook thus remains uncertain, facing multiple economic, financial, geopolitical and environmental risks. Despite the expected slowdown in manufacturing worldwide in 2022, the share of manufacturing GDP expanded globally from 16.2% in 2015 to 16.7% in 2022. Eastern and Southern Eastern Asia expanded its share from 25.5% to 25.9% over the same period. Although manufacturing in the region remained strong during the pandemic, the recovery has been modest, probably due to the implementation of COVID-19 containment policies in China. The recent reopening has, however, paved the way for a fast recovery in this region in 2023. Global MVA, or manufacturing value added, per capita increased from $1,643, and it mentions here constant dollars, which constant dollars are the adjusted value of a currency to compare dollar values over a period of time. So constant dollar here was evaluated from 2015, and that takes into account inflation. In 2015 to 1870 in 2022. While Europe and North America, reached an all-time high of over $5,000 at $5,052 in 2022, MVA per capita in sub-Saharan Africa only reached $167. MVA per capita in least developed countries reached only $159, far from the target of doubling their value of $126 in 2015. Although the share of manufacturing in LDCs increased from 12.1% in 2015 to 14% in 2022, this pace might not be sufficient to reach SDG Target 9 by 2030. While LDCs in Asia have made considerable progress and are on track to meet SDG Target 9 by 2030, other LDCs would need to change the ongoing trajectory and significantly accelerate progress for the goal to remain attainable by 2030. Indicator 9.2.2, manufacturing employment as a proportion of total employment. By the end of 2022, the recovery of labour markets from the COVID-19 crisis was still incomplete and progressing at an uneven pace across the world. Low-income and middle-income countries have been especially affected, and their incomplete recovery was further hampered by multiple crises, including the aftermath of the conflict in Ukraine, accelerating climate change and unprecedented humanitarian challenges. Persistent disruptions to climate change threatens employment prospects and job quality, especially in manufacturing. After a plunge caused by the coronavirus outbreak in 2020, global manufacturing employment returned to the pre-pandemic level of 2021. However, the share of manufacturing employment in total employment continued to decline, falling from 14.3% in 2015 to 13.6% in 2021 worldwide.